Hey there, Bookkeeping Side Hustle Community. It's Kate. We are here for another week has gone by in our Xero certification challenge, and we're going to have a special Ask Me Anything with someone from Xero headquarters, someone from the North American office who's going to explain all that we need to know. It's an Ask Me Anything style event where you'll be able to interact. I would like to ask for you to give a thumbs up if you can hear, say where you're from, maybe chime in with where you are in your certification process if you're participating in this challenge. And before I let her introduce yourself, just so I can make sure people know why they're listening, we have got, let me get this, a calendar up here for y'all. We're doing this challenge to get people certified in Xero so they get that nice advisor badge and can build their business this way. And there's a couple more dates you need to remember. It is not too late to sign up at bookkeepingsidehustle.com/Xero-challenge is where you'd sign up. But you need to know next May 18th, we have a live webinar. It's about, block off like 5 hours. It's just for our group. May 19th and 20th, a 2-day live certification. So they're kind of breaking it up for the people who can just do more like 2.5 hours at a time. You have to be done by May 23rd. Many of you, probably the vast majority of you, are going to do the self-paced cert. So do not forget to be done by May 23rd at midnight if you want to be in the drawing for all the prizes. I'm realizing my little background isn't looking great right now, but it's okay. And then 26th of May, we're going to have our wrap up and our prize giveaway. So that's the important thing. Sign up if you're not signed up. And we are going to go back to meet Sophia. Please introduce yourself. Tell us all about you. And we appreciate you being here. She stepped in at the last minute. I've been working with a man named Michael Jones who just had a baby on this weekend. So she has just picked up the lion's share of this and is going to be supporting us through the rest of the challenge like Michael was. Tell us all about yourself, and then we're going to dive right in and pick your brain.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me, Kate. I know you and I met 2.5 years ago virtually, so it's pretty cool to see everything come full circle and to have this opportunity to be a part of your group. And I'm honored to fill in for Michael, who, yes, just had a baby. So exciting. So my name's Sophia Johnston. I've been with Xero for 2.5 years. I am the senior account manager for our Atlanta community. So I live in the city of Atlanta, and I serve our partners. We've got close to 200 firms that use Xero in the greater Atlanta region. And so I focus on empowering them and helping them reach their goals in their practice. I also have a 5-month-old Labradoodle who hopefully will not bark too much on today's call, but he may make a guest appearance. And I love trying unique workout classes. So if anyone has an off-the-wall fitness class you want to put in the comment box, I would love to hear it and try it.
I turned 40 this year, and my goal is to do a chin-up. It's not really off the wall. If you'd like to join me, I've never done a chin-up, and I'm hopefully doing one in like 2 months.
Yes. So well, we need a video of that, I think.
If it happens, I sometimes wonder. But anyway, yeah. So we'll share more wild workouts with you.
Yes.
I just want to chime in. I think I've been. I know your title is Xero Account Manager. I think I've been using the phrase Xero Partner Representative. I know you've probably definitely earned your specific title. What I want to point out is that at Xero, there are dedicated people, like an actual human who's like been with the company for a while, who you would call, and how you said you worked with the folks in Atlanta. And I just think that's unique about Xero, and I wanted to make sure people noted that, that, if you're down in that southern area, you might talk to Sophia. If not, you might talk to someone in your local geography. But she's there to help you. Like you'll have her phone number. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, my partners have my cell phone numbers. Sometimes they'll text me just to share exciting updates of the accomplishments that they're having in their firm. So we really get that opportunity in my community and in the different communities around the US to have that relationship with our partners.
Awesome. Well, I'm just going to dive in with some questions here, and I thought about just asking sort of what are some of the like hidden gems of the Xero software. We'll get into like the certification part, but I feel like we've hopefully the partner reps are managing that with everyone who's doing this challenge. And so I would just like to have you talk about Xero more broadly, like after we're certified, what's Xero going to look like, feel like? Why is it a great general ledger tool? Yeah, so because there's plenty of folks who haven't sort of seen on the inside yet. And what are your thoughts on that? What's the special parts of Xero?
I think Xero HQ is a great place to start. So I'll go ahead and just share my screen so that I can take everyone through a quick tour.
Perfect. Yeah, show your screen, and I think I can just let you in right here. All right. If you can see her screen, yeah, y'all chime in, and she'll walk us through. And I'm going to take clear this little image off, and there you go.
Beautiful. And feel free to throw things in the chat if you have any questions as we go along. So Xero HQ is a part of the Xero software specifically for our partners, such as yourself. So once you get set up on a partner account, you will have access to this, and you can navigate there from the main menu of Xero. And it's a hub to manage all of your client services. So I will show you some of my favorite features within here, but as you take the certification, they will dive much deeper into every feature within HQ. So at a high level, we have this activity tab, which is a dynamic to-do list where you can set alerts and reminders when there are so many transactions to code, or every time it's been maybe 29 days since you last reconciled, to help you stay on top of your workflow.
So if I have like 10 clients and I say I want to know every time there's more than 20 transactions, like client A, I'll get a notice on maybe every 3 days because they have a lot. Maybe client B only has a few, and so I might only get that notice every 3 weeks. Is that kind of how it would work?
Exactly. And you can apply those rules across your entire base of clients, or maybe customize those rules for each client depending on the relationship and the engagement.
Cool.
It's
like a free workflow tool right there.
It is, exactly. So if you're not using a complex workflow tool right now and you want to start small, that activity tab is a great resource. And then the clients tab, this is where you're going to manage all of your clients. You can easily add a client who's already on Xero. If you happen to get a new client, they've already got the software. Or if they're not, you can add a brand new client. I like to call out that you can add anyone here, even if they're not connected to Xero. So maybe you have a prospect that you're working with and you need basically a CRM to manage the relationship. You can add them in here as a contact. And as you can see in my example here, you can take notes every time you speak with the client, which is helpful in remembering the history with that client. Or if you're collaborating with potentially a staff member or a partner, you guys can swap notes here.
Okay.
And I also want to mention, this is where you would also connect your clients to Xero. You can create groups if you want to group out the clients who are maybe monthly versus quarterly, or by industry. And you can export your client list as well. So this is great if you need a central place to manage all of your clients. And next is the Explorer tab. So you might be a brand new firm, but as you grow and scale, you're going to want to have a bird's eye view across your practice so you can make better business decisions. So this section, Explorer, is going to show you across all of your clients, what apps are your clients using that are connected to Xero. So this can help you. For example, if you notice all of a sudden you have an uptick in clients that are using HubDoc, that might prompt you to think, hey, I got to dig into this HubDoc thing and learn a little bit about it because it's obviously important to my clients. Or, if you notice that you only have one client that's using Go Cardless, maybe you want to explore different options for them for payments, maybe some that your other clients are using more often and are giving great feedback on that. So bird's eye view of apps. Similarly, industry, this can be really helpful in a marketing perspective. A lot of times when I ask my partners, what is your niche or your vertical, they're not sure. So if you take a look across all your clients and you can see I have a concentration in, professional services, maybe that's something you're good at. Maybe that's something you want to market towards and network more in that field. And then last but not least, banks. So it's great to build relationships with local banks so you can better serve your clients. And this is going to give you insights across all your client base, which banks are being used and by how many.
That's huge. I'm thinking of the bars that cause me a headache. So you're like,
oh yeah,
Let's see if I
That
can
too,
grow
right?
that easy bank bar. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Exactly. So, having this information is going to help you make those decisions and improve what needs to be improved within your client base. Next is reports. I'm not going to go too deep into this because your certification, I definitely recommend going to that so that you can get some deep training on this. But Xero allows a firm to create practice-wide report templates. So rather than have to recreate a report every time you log into a different client, you can create some standard reports that you can then pull in at the client level and of course customize as needed. But this is going to save you time and give you a more professional look because you're creating that practice standard, with your logo, with whatever data points, pages, disclosures, and schedules that you like to have standard for your clients.
That's really easy. I like that.
It's definitely a hidden gem of Xero. Just to tie it back to your question,
Oh yeah.
is our reporting being so customizable and flexible. And no matter how your clients receive data, if they are tech savvy and they're going to log into Xero, great, you can publish those reports. But if they'll never touch their accounting software, maybe they prefer to stay out of that, you can export to PDF. So there's lots of options for delivering those reports.
Awesome.
Next, we have our Ask tab. So this is a great way to request information from clients that is secure. It's better than just sending email. And you can also create standardization here. So I have a couple templates that I created. You could create your own custom template. So for example, I made a new client onboarding template, and I'm going to hit preview so you can see what this looks like when I send it to my client. But basically, they're going to get an email. It's going to fill in their name, and it will have instructions. They'll click this blue Get Started button. They do not have to have a Xero subscription for you to be able to use this.
Okay.
Once they hit Get Started, they're going to see the questions that you've created, and you've also selected what answer type you want to receive. So in this first case, I put in fill in the blank. In this third case here, I gave a pick list where they can select what software they're coming from. And you can even add hints. So for example, I expanded upon my question here, explaining what an EIN is if my client doesn't know. And we're hoping this is going to save you some of that back and forth and chasing down of information that you need to do your job.
And so is that saved? Like if I want to be able to find my client's EIN again, I remember that, oh, I always ask this, and
yes,
I can see that history.
You can see the history, and what's really cool is managing the query. When you send it out, you can send it out to just one client or a group of clients, but once it's sent, you'll be able to track all of your past queries on this screen here. And this little progress wheel is going to show you whether or not it was open. And let's say that this person answered 1 of 5 questions, it would actually show you that when you hover over it.
Is this how your partner reps ask their clients about uncategorized transactions? Like if they have a question like, what'd you buy? What was this?
That's a great question. I actually made an example like that too. So within Xero itself, so separate from HQ within your client Xero account, you can run an uncoded statement lines report, which would have all the transactions that you didn't code yet. And using the Discuss tab, you can leave notes for your client like, hey, what was this for? Once you export that, you could send it through a query and attach it so that the client has that document attached, and then you can ask them to send it back to you. So they would be able to attach the filled out PDF back and send it to you.
But when they're sending it back in Xero, like outside of an email system.
Yeah, so it'll hit their inbox, but when they go to answer the questions, it's all transmitted through the Xero portal and not through their email.
That's pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the Ask tab.
Janelle says, wow, I'm impressed.
I love it, Janelle. And I mean, you can really make this exactly what you want it to be. These are just my examples, but there are tons of different answer types you can choose from. You can attach files to, you can get pretty creative here. As you grow your firm, I know a lot of us on today's call are new, but if you do take on any staff, or maybe you're collaborating with a CPA who does the tax for your clients, you can grant access on this staff tab here, manage which clients they have access to. You can revoke access easily if someone leaves, and that sort of thing will all be managed on this staff tab.
All right.
And then lastly here, we have our practice tab. So this is where you can see how many points you have in the Xero Partner Program. You're also going to be able to access your subscription of Xero. So once you become a partner, you get our established plan that has all of the bells and whistles of Xero at no cost so that you can learn Xero using your own books.
That's a good way to learn.
It sure is. And secondly, we have the demo company. So there's a fake company with dummy data in there so you can practice using Xero. A lot of people tell me they like to do the certification and have the demo company open in another window so they can click along or practice. And I think the third great reason to use the demo company is down the road as you're presenting Xero to clients, pull up the demo company, show them around, as opposed to showing your own books or clients' books. You definitely wouldn't want to do that, or a blank trial. So pull up the demo company. And then every partner is going to have a dedicated Xero account manager, and that's where you're going to see who your contact is here. So if you were my partner, you would see my name and email located here.
I'll go back to that demo company option about how when you're interacting with clients and showing them Xero, that's use that. The best way, and I'm trying to learn this myself, is the like one-to-many thing, guys. So you would create that, like, here's how to create an invoice. And so when someone says, how do you create an invoice? You've recorded yourself in a little 2-minute little Loom video, which is easy and free. And you send that link to everybody. So that's down the road. I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm trying to do this concept of communicating one-to-many. But yeah. Anyway, that would be the great place to start to make those videos and get your name out there and just be helpful. So
absolutely. And as you're getting used to presenting Xero, if you need to lean on us and our resources a bit more, we do have a YouTube series called Xero First, and you can watch, I think they're like 1-minute videos, and send those along to clients. So for example, there's one that's how to set up a bank feed. So you can simply send the link to that YouTube video to your client, say, hey, here's how you're going to set up your bank feed in Xero. So those are great resources.
Yeah, I can never talk in less than 1 minute. So that would be a better resource for me.
I feel you.
Callie, you have some questions here. They seem pretty detailed. I am going to look at those later. We might also have you ask your partner rep about those. And Eleanor, you're driving. We'll be able to see this later. Yes, it's going to be on the YouTube channel where you're watching it now for forever. So there's that. I'm going to keep pushing us along and have a question about the Xero onboarding process for folks that are building their practice and don't have clients yet, because I feel like that's sort of the burning question for our community here. And so, yeah, if I don't have clients today, but I'm ready to start to take strong action steps in building my bookkeeping business, talk about that and how Xero will relate to that person, and how y'all will be there as their support even in this beginning stage.
Absolutely. So if you don't have any clients yet, that's okay. My advice would be to go to the Xero website and start a free trial and start practicing Xero. I would put your own books in there, even if you don't have firm books yet, your personal finances. Set up your bank feed, start trying the reconciliation, really getting familiarized with the software. And I would also highly recommend getting certified. That's going to give you your 101 base knowledge on how to use Xero, and it's going to help you build credibility. As you look to bring on clients, you'll have that certification. You can add that designation and that badge to your website and social. And I know there's a lot of freelance websites out there as well that if you are Xero Advisor certified, you can pick up your first job or your first client through those avenues. And Xero's happy to help you too. We have a great partner development rep team who helps with those firms that don't yet have clients and can provide a lot of resources there.
I'll chime in here specifically for the Bookkeeping Side Hustle community and that concept of the free trial. If you go to bookkeepingsidehustle.com/Xero-challenge, y'all, we have a special link. And when you sign up for Xero, you're going to be sort of flagged in their system as someone that a group of people at Xero are I'm calling it greasing the wheels. I don't. That's probably not what their official term would be, but I'm not official. So there you'll get help. So sign up from the Xero Challenge link, y'all. Because if you just go to I've said that before in our video last Wednesday, which you can find in the playlist. That all these Xero videos are going to be in the Xero playlist, and there's a link to that playlist. But if you watch that video, you'll say, like, if you try to just go to Xero.com, you get a little bit derailed. But we have a way to make sure that it's, I mean, you can still do it that way, but trust me, people are waiting for you to apply via this special link, because that's what this challenge is all about. So
thanks for calling that out.
Yeah, and Janelle, you're asking how long the free trial is for. So the page you see is going to say 30 days, but you'll get sort of unlimited versions of those until you get that first client, because you're going to be hustling this summer. Maybe some of y'all are teachers and you have the summer to work on it or whatever. Stay in touch with that person at Xero, because you're going to get that personal connection, and just say, I don't have my client yet, but I'm working. I'm passing out business cards every day, or I'm building my website. So it's essentially free forever for accounting partners, okay? And they want us to be, Xero's incentivized to help us bring more small businesses onto Xero. That's kind of how this works. So don't be shy, and don't think you're kicked out if you don't have clients. Like, keep in touch with your partner rep. Is that right, Sophia?
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many people I met that initially didn't have any clients, maybe were so new to bookkeeping, and a couple months down the line, they reach out, they're so excited, they have their first client, and I'm ready and willing to help them onboard that first client and just have that support they need as they're getting familiar with using Xero.
Awesome. Well, so tell us about the certification process. We've got a couple of the live ones coming up next week. Tell us about how that works, and then the self-paced cert, and just in general what you know that people need to know about that.
Absolutely. So the good thing is there's lots of options. I know you guys are all really busy. This might be your side hustle, it sounds like. And so being able to fit into your busy schedule is important. So I would say if you can make the time, I highly recommend joining the May 18th session, because you're in a cohort with other bookkeeping side hustlers, and you have that support. You guys can share ideas and feedback on how it's going. And that's going to be, again, on the 18th, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. If you can't make that, don't fret. There are definitely other options. So in May, there's going to be another session, which is broken up across 2 days. It's 2 hours over the course of both days. And the webinar is going to be 4 hours, and it has a 20-question assessment afterwards. You can take that later if you can't do it right at the end of the four-hour webinar. And you need to pass with an 80% or higher. But don't worry, if you don't pass the first time around, you can reset and keep taking it until you pass. We want you to pass, so no sweat there. And there's also the self-paced option. It's a little bit longer. It's about 7 hours, depending on how fast or slow you work, but it also has a 20 question quiz. However, the questions are sprinkled along each module. So they're broken out into more bite-sized modules based on the section of Xero that you're working through. All of the assessments are open book, so you can have any resources you need, like Xero Central, or the actual courses themselves pulled up on another screen. And if anyone joining today has used Xero in the past and it's just been a while, you're getting back in touch with us, there is a fast track test only option that you can take if you do not feel like you need a refresher on the course.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I bet there's people who are maybe you've been using Xero for your own business or your mom's business or whatever, and that you're like, no, I can pass this. I know where all the I know how to make all of Xero work. That's great information. I'm glad you said that about the fast track. And chime in, guys. Chime in with which path you're planning on doing. Are you going to do our private session on the 18th, or break it up on the 19th and 20th? Are you going to do the self-paced cert? Last weekend we had these little like Zoom accountability sessions. I had about 3 of them, and about 20 people came, and all it was just show up and know that you're not alone in sitting through the self-paced cert. So maybe we'll do some of those again. What about staying current as an advisor? Like, are you in forever? What's the deal?
Yeah, so once you're certified, in order to keep your certification active year over year, you're going to want to take Xero's quarterly product updates. So this is a 45-minute webinar done once a quarter, and we're going to go over all of the new product features that have been released in the past 90 days. And I love this because we can release all these crazy cool features, but if we don't tell you about them and we don't train you on how to use them, they're useless, or they might embarrass you if you're in Xero with a client and you're like, I don't know what this feature is. So taking these are really going to help you stay abreast of all the latest features and help you keep taking advantage of all the new optimization and automation that Xero is launching to help you do your job better.
That sounds pretty easy. I mean, we should be doing that anyway. So one of the things I always say is for people who aren't sure whether they would like to begin a career in virtual accounting is I say, get certified in a bookkeeping software. And if you hate the entire process, maybe this isn't for you because you're going to have to redo it over. You're going to have to like you're not done. Like whatever software you build your practice on, they're especially like the cloud-based ones, like they're updating them all the time, and you will be bad at your business and you will ruin small business clients because you're a bad bookkeeper if you don't keep doing these. So 45 minutes every quarter is like the absolute minimum that you would need to just stay fresh on your softwares of choice. So I think that's really reasonable, and I'm sure y'all put a lot of time into really just highlighting the stuff that are going to help the partners. So that's a pretty easy research process. I like it, and easy but valuable as well.
Exactly.
So I want to chime in here just because this is important. Someone named C. Walker is saying she thought that the 19th and 20th 2-day webinar was for partners only. And I know that's not true, but can you explain like what do they need to do to make sure that they do that? Because 2 hours might be easier for people than 2 2-hour chunks might be easier than the 4-hour chunk.
Yeah, absolutely. So the live webinar certification is going to require a Xero login, which you should have if you have a free trial of Xero, and there'll be a button that you can hit to log in to register. I'm not 100% sure if it's gated to where you have to have a partner account, but I'm happy to look into that and we can figure that out if that option works best for whoever put that in the chat. Yes,
and anybody who's listening, just send an email to your partner rep and you say, Kate and Sophia said I can take the 19th and 20th, and they, if it's gated, it's only because like the developers who built the login did it. Like it's not because they don't want you there. Like they want you to do that and learn about Xero. It's going to be a great way. Like she said, you'll get to meet other people, be a part of a community that's going through the certification together. Like sign up. And it's 4 hours versus, she said, about 7 for the self-paced. So
yes.
Get a babysitter, do what you need to do, take a long lunch maybe. Yeah, so we talked about, we had identified a question about how do you build your business on Xero kind of after your certification. And I'll just chime in that the 26th is the day that we're going to sort of have this wrap-up call. Sophia will be there, and she's going to walk us through a lot of the marketing stuff. I've got my own ideas. I'm working on a little like, here's what I would do, and how I would capitalize on my new badge. Yeah, join us on the 26th, and that's when we're also going to announce all of our big prize winners and the grand prize. But kind of going along those lines about what we're going to learn on the 26th, can you dive in, Sophia, about the branding money that folks have once they become a partner? Because obviously branding and marketing, that's what's next, right? You don't just put your badge up and have 15 clients knocking on your door. So tell us about this special branding money.
Absolutely, yeah. So first off, once you become a partner and you're certified, you have access to the partner toolkit, which is going to give you a lot of marketing resources, everything from marketing guides to success stories to marketing consultant directory. Lots of great resources for you to leverage. Once you hit bronze and are certified, and that requires 25 points, that doesn't necessarily mean 25 clients. You'll work with your account manager to hit that goal. But once you hit bronze, our partners get access to $2,000 of matched marketing funds every fiscal year, which for Xero renews every April. So this is a co-op marketing fund. And it can be used towards co-branded marketing that might include, getting a website. If you're a brand new firm and you don't have a website yet, I'd say that's where I'd spend my money to start.
And you're going to match up to $2,000 for me to build my website instead of crying on my couch with my husband as I'm trying to do it on my own.
Sure will. And better yet, if you need, a good reputable marketing agency to help you do it, we have that consultant directory we can share with you as well.
Holy smokes. Yeah, I have vivid memories of watching WordPress YouTube videos about 2 years ago when I finally took the step to, like you said, it's kind of like that would be the first step. I was at that point where, okay, it's time for me to build a website, and it would have been, pretty nice to have had some help. And some vetted experts.
Yep. And we have a marketing fund guide that'll walk through examples of what you could use the funds for and what would be required of you to get approval on, your website, for example.
Yeah. Quick answer for Chris Elliott. What time is the session on the 26th? It's just at 11 o'clock Eastern here, same time. So yeah, update your calendar like you're asking. We'll dive in more to this, how to use the branding. I would love some, on the 26th, Sophia, we can make a note, like share some stories about successful projects to make the most of that, because I'm sure you have seen some better uses of the money than others, as you've been helping people for so long. So what about this Xero directory? That's a big deal, I think. I know that I've gotten a lot of clients via the directory that I'm a part of. So how do y'all manage the directory? How do you get on it? How are small businesses using the directory? Is Xero good about telling small businesses you better check the directory? Because that would be beneficial for Xero to do that to help their partners. So what tell us about the directory?
Absolutely. So once you are certified in bronze, you're going to get the opportunity to publish your Xero Advisor Directory listing. And it is so important for us to pair up every small business that does not yet have an advisor with an advisor, because we know their success rate is going to be much higher. And so it benefits us and it benefits you. So when someone signs up for Xero, a small business, if they don't have an advisor attached to their account, they will get a call from our small business team to see how their trial of Xero is going. And we'll ask them, hey, do you have an accountant or bookkeeper you want to invite in to your Xero? And if they don't, that's where we point them to that directory. So they'll be able to search. And the cool thing is, we live in this digital age. It's not relegated just to where you are physically located. It'll be showcasing your profile based on a number of things, such as what zip codes your clients are located in, what apps you have experience in, what industries and banks you've worked with. And, there's a whole algorithm, which I don't have all the details to, but that will sift through this data points that you have in Xero and serve up the most relevant advisors to these prospective small business clients.
That's, cool. I'm thinking like, in the fall or sometime we should get back on and do like how to maximize your Xero partner directory. Like what are the magic tricks to beat that algorithm?
We actually have a guide available online on how to optimize your Xero Advisor directory listing. Definitely dive in that together. The other thing I wanted to add is a few months ago, we launched a matchmaking feature. So now a small business can opt in to be emailed a list of 3 advisors with their contact details who Xero feels is a good fit for what they're looking for.
That's awesome. Tina, I'm going to ask you to just go back and rewatch or hit rewind to get the information about the co-branded marketing money. Eleanor, it looks like Trinity answered your question about getting the free access. As an accountant user, you would get the access to manage your own books. So remember, you're a small business owner now. You own a bookkeeping business, and you're going to have to do your own bookkeeping too. So it's a great way to practice, way to test out, connecting to apps first, that sort of thing. And thanks to Trinity for answering that. If you, we got Ripple's Workshop says this is also amazing. So glad you're here, Ripple's Workshop. start chiming in with your questions now. I've got one more that I'm going to ask Sophia myself, and then I'll try to cull through some of the other ones. But I want to know some of your, and just one, because we'll be in touch. Y'all can email Sophia for more of these. But what is one of your favorite success stories of a bookkeeper who has built their business on Xero, who woke up one day, or after probably more like a few years of thinking, like, I want to do this on my own. I want to serve clients. I want to build a practice that fits my lifestyle. What's a favorite success story?
There's so many, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I thought about this question and I wanted to pick somebody who's a member of your group. And so it's very fitting that Trinity's been helping out in the comments. Hi, Trinity.
Oh, she's so helpful all the time. Yes.
Yes. So my success story is actually sharing a story that I got from Trinity. So Trinity Scott is a member of the Bookkeeping Side Hustle group, and she runs a firm called T3 Bookkeeping in Texas. She joined your group about a year ago. Yeah.
I'm a Texan.
I heard.
Most people know that.
Yes. She joined the group a year ago. She wishes she would have known about the group when she first started her practice back in 2016, but hey, better late than never. And her story is she got her accounting degree, and while she was in school, she wasn't so thrilled about becoming an accountant. She wasn't sure if it was for her, but her husband is in the military and he needed to go to school, so she needed to get to work. So she finished her degree and she started off her career actually in collections. So a little bit of a different field. Started having kids, stayed home with them for 11 years. But in 2016, she was looking for more income, and her business all started because her sister put her into this Facebook group, which got her in touch with her first client. So this really interesting was a beekeeper, her first client, and the client was actually looking for a virtual assistant. So I feel like that's a tip in itself. Be broad with the opportunities you're looking for, because what happened was this beekeeper saw that Trinity had an accounting degree, and so instead of hiring her for the VA position, she decided to hire her as a bookkeeper, which wasn't even posted online. So it worked out quite well for her. And this client gave her a chance. It was her first client. She got in touch with Xero because this client was already on Xero. She got paired up with Taylor, her account manager in Texas, built a relationship with him. He provided her a lot of resources. She got her certification done, and she, really got to learn Xero by doing with this client's books. And the cool thing is, all the way since 2016, this is still a client of hers today. She is now a silver partner. Obviously, she's an expert. She's helping other people out in this chat group here. So I was excited to share her story there.
Yeah, and I know Trinity even has like a special group for Xero users in America. I think that's on my bookkeepingsidehustle.com/Xero, which I call my all things Xero article. Trinity does run like a special subgroup just to help people specifically in Xero, although she's helpful in sort of all sorts of ways, general accounting, general apps. So thank you for sharing that. It is possible to build a business on this. I keep thinking about that optimizing your directory and having those leads come in, making sure your springtime is clear, because that's when all of these crazy business owners who've put off their bookkeeping are looking for that help to get their taxes done. Get them cleaned up, get them ready to go, turn them into a monthly client, and because they found you on the Xero directory. And Xero is going to be telling their users to use Xero certified advisors. So it's cool that like the Xero software salespeople are working with the Xero accountant rep salespeople, or not salespeople, but accountant rep support people, and making sure that like keep pointing them to the accountant because they're gonna mess it up without help.
Exactly.
Beekeepers don't know how to do accounting.
Right. Exactly. And I will add, I forgot to mention, Trinity did say some of what she built her business on was through leads she got from the advisor directory, and then also referrals from that first client.
Cool. All right. So chime in if you have any questions. I'm going to look through here on my right side to see if I have missed anything. Remember, the dates you need to remember are there are 2 opportunities for live training next week. a 4-hour chunk of time on the May 18th, and then 2-hour blocks if you want to do the 19th and 20th cert. And then if you got to do the self-paced cert, come on over on your own, get that link. And I have a link if you need it. Email me at bookkeepingsidehustle@gmail.com, and I'll get you the link once you have your login to get to that self-paced training. Sometimes it's hard to navigate new stuff, so I'm happy to share that. Someone asked, this is a really good question. Eager student said, can we do the self-paced training before the live training on the 18th to help have it that the 18th have it more solid? I feel like I feel like I'm going to say that you're actually going to end up certified if you complete that live training, but still, can they still sign up again? And I mean, obviously you only get one badge, but what's the story on that?
Yeah, so I have had some partners do that because they really want to learn in multiple formats and cement that information. So you can take both formats. You can take it as many times as you like, whatever it takes to help you feel comfortable.
Awesome. I'll also remind y'all, on the 28th of April, I did an interview with Amanda Aguilard, who just wrote, she might not like being called the textbook, but I call it a textbook because it's a great textbook. And in the Xero playlist on the YouTube channel, guys, right in the description of this, check out that interview with her and just listen to the first 4 or 5 minutes. You'll learn whether, like, okay, do I need to buy a book to learn this or not? There's no better time than to buy it now because it is most current. Software does change a lot, so get it now. And she even said if anyone mails her a destroyed book because they've used it so much, she'll replace them for forever. So use that book, destroy it, rip it up, tag it, flag it, fold the pages, highlight, get the most out of it. We all learn in different ways, and sometimes, I've got kids. I know I have to tell them about 10 times to how to learn something. So sometimes it's self-paced, live training. Get the book.
And I would add using the demo company or your own books, because I learn by doing. So get in there and start practicing too.
All right, we've got someone over here. Trinity is saying you also get to participate in the Xero hours. Those are like quarterly sessions, is that right? What's this? Or give us a story about the Xero hours. Once you have your account in Xero, then there's this, it's an additional learning, right?
Yep. So we have Xero hours for our partners. Now, in a non-pandemic environment, these are traditionally done in the communities in person, which we're hoping to get back to when it's safe. In the meantime, it's online, and we do always have an online option even when we are in person. But these are intended for our partners to network, to support one another, ask tough questions, and we typically have a content theme as well. So for example, how to hire and retain great staff. It's not always Xero specific, but it's topics that are relevant to your field and your practice success. And our ambassadors are often running those so that you can hear from successful firm owners.
So you're saying that once we get back to the before times, that you in Atlanta are going to have like a party with a screen behind you, like do some learning, do some meeting, like seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. We get in the community. It might look like a happy hour. It might look like a lunch. It just kind of depends, but it's pretty exciting. It's a great way to get people together. And I think so much more comes out. People are a lot more open about, their struggles and able to help one another. And it's a pretty cool thing. If you're curious when the next one is, May 19th at 2 Eastern is going to be the next Xero hour. And the topic is expenses, reimbursements, and corporate cards. Oh my. So that'll be a good one.
How do you, I want to push on this. Will I be able to, can people make friends on that, or do they have to kind of wait until the live ones are back to be like, is it going to be just a Zoom kind of, we're just seeing the screen, or is there an
video on? It's video on. And so you'll be able to chat with others. Sometimes there's even breakout groups. So definitely join. Wow. It's a great environment.
It's not as good as, well, for me, it's not as good as the shaking hands, but I mean, that's like it's also not as bad as just watching a wall, a computer screen of some slides like that. I'm a sort of solopreneur, right? Like I don't have a staff. I work in my home. I'm at a co-working space right now, but it's me, and it gets lonely. And so like I would eat that up if I get to go like I don't know.
Absolutely.
I have to like, just the other day, I patted the seat next to someone, like this little dad at my kids' jujitsu practice, and then I told my husband, I was like, I'm just like, I like people too much, and I want, it's me by myself, and so this poor dad at jujitsu got the awkward, like, here comes my meat.
Yeah,
but
my dog's
so
my coworker.
I would be on much better behavior if I went to a live accounting happy hour, but I would love a live accounting happy hour with the learning and the handshaking. Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. So yeah, Trinity's saying the 0 hours are good. Thanks for always chiming in. I'm going to ask one question here from Janelle, and then we're going to spin the prize wheel. And I want y'all to know that I see Sophia on LinkedIn a lot. Reach out to her there. Let me know if you need contact information. Xero wants to meet you. So that's that. Janelle asks, what is the best feature of Xero that would appeal to client business owners, not just bookkeepers? So to get them to consider changing software.
Ooh, that's a great question. So I would say, as opposed to a feature, just a broader sentiment is that Xero is designed with the small business owner in mind. And so the feedback that I get from my partners when they move a client from another software over to Xero is how easy to use and understand it is. When they get in there, they'll see the lingo. You don't need an accounting degree to interpret it. It'll say invoices owed to you, and you'll be able to see the dashboard. There's a lot of visual graphical views that make it easier to digest that data. So I would say ease of use would be one of the top reasons that small businesses love switching to Xero.
So invoices owed to you is regular people speak for accounts receivable?
Exactly.
Okay. Just making sure I'm tracking. Awesome.
Yep.
Good question, Janelle. Keep reaching out to your partner rep. Like if you've got a specific question, like Callie above, who I'm pointing to her partner rep because she had a detailed question about a construction client. Ask your equivalent of Sophia. Hey, I got a construction client and I want to sell them. Give me the details because I don't have a construction client yet, but what do you say to construction clients who use Xero? All right, guys, I'm gonna do my favorite part, which is spin the prize wheel. Let's go over, hold on one second. I'm my own little producer here. Add to live stream. Here are our prizes. We're going to spin the wheel for 2 of these. And next, the 26th, we're going to spin for 5 of them. And then we'll spin for the grand prize of a ticket to XeroCon. But let's see who is going to win the dog bandana or whatever we got here. Spin the wheel. All right, we're spinning first for... Let's see, there's a lot of people on this list. More and more people are joining every day. Pepper, way to go. We'll hide that choice and we will, hide the choice. Here we go. Spin one more time. And Laura Prater. Well, that's cool. Hopefully that made y'all's day. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I'm pretty much done here. Sophia, thank you for being here. We will be back with you in 2 weeks. If anyone has any questions about getting certified, your goal is to be finished by the midnight on the 23rd, and anything Sophia can do or I can do to help make that happen so your name gets in the prize wheel. And if you don't finish, just keep going. It doesn't mean like you're kind of kicked out. The only thing that it's really, the main thing is just that accountability and the prizes. And it's really easy to not take action, y'all. And so we're trying to have this be a way to take action. That's what's going to set apart the successful from the tire kickers. So have this be one of those things that you have on your list and that you get done. Anything else from you, Sophia?
That's it. Thank you guys for having me. I love the interactive chat. Definitely feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I'm sure Kate will send out my contact if you have any further questions.
Yes, I think I emailed everyone who's registered. I already put your LinkedIn profile there. So, and I told them to tell them how they know you, so you don't think they're a spammer. All right, we're going to say goodbye. I'm going to end this live stream. Share it with anyone you know, guys, that needs to hear about Xero, and we will just be in the Facebook group and down in the comments. I'm here to answer anything you need to help you get done. That's my job. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.